what I'm going to do now, we're going to stick to Marrenon because, you know, the French blends. We're doing red blends. Okay, let's stick to Marrenon for a second. But we're going to move to another appellation called Gigondas. Has anyone out there tried Châteauneuf-du-Pape? Perhaps? Châteauneuf-du-Pape? Châteauneuf-du-Pape. This is Châteauneuf-du-Pape's baby brother, or poor man Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Don't tell the Gigondas drinkers that. But so Châteauneuf-du-Pape, which is northern Rhone, it's made from loads of different grapes. Like I think there's like 19 grapes that can go into a Châteauneuf. Gigondas is always like a maximum of 80% Grenache, and then there's the rest in Syrah and Mourvèdre. So whereas Châteauneuf-du-Pape can have like a whole blend of different wines, this one is definitely up to 80% Grenache, okay? The difference is that in this particular cru is that the soils are quite varied. It's composed of like alluvial terraces, there's like stony red clay, so there's like high permeability, which lessens any erosion that's caused by water runoff, which means the plots are super dry really quick. So when the soils are so dry, being in clay, the vines have to work really hard. So to get the nutrients, like, okay, hopefully you understand science kind of thing, but like the water kind of runs off the clay rather than permeates it, which means that the vines have to go really deep into the soil to actually get any nutrients. We want this, I keep trying to tell you, so low yield, better quality grapes, and that is what happens in Gigondas. And I hope I'm saying that right to all the French out there. So yeah, any soils rich in clay, and a lot of the Marrenon wines are rich in clay, they're characterized by terroirs that produce absolutely beautiful crus, like Grand Cru. So yeah, so, you know, Marrenon's target really is to produce new cuvées near their region of Luberon using the same grapes. So like, you know, your Syrah and Grenache and all that kind of thing. So let's give it a whirl. Ooh, so powerful. Like it's super powerful, really aromatic. I didn't realize that I'd actually, like even though I was all going to do like aromatic whites and then red blends, I didn't realize how aromatic these reds were going to be as well. But yeah, so Marrenon, they wanted, you know, same grapes. So they're very famous for doing Syrah and Grenache in the Luberon, but they wanted to have similar soils, you know, but they really wanted to express the terroir and like the specificities of the different terroirs. You can tell I haven't been spinning as much as I should today. So yeah, very powerful, very aromatic, very ripe red fruit on the nose. But there's definitely like a hint of freshness. So I'm thinking like there's this green stalkiness that's coming through. Yeah, let's have a look how it tastes. But to me, it's like all red fruit. Compared to the previous one, even though this has more Grenache, the previous one, the Plan de Dieu has a lot more of that purple jammy fruit that you'd expect from like a McLaren Vale Shiraz here. Whereas, yeah, this is like a lot more ripe red fruit, a lot more ripe raspberries. But very fresh. Gets that pepperiness still, like quite a little bit. Okay, let's have a look. Oh yeah, way too young. Whoa, massive wine. Very well balanced, very harmonious. Wow, like you don't even feel the tannin and the acids. Like they're just kind of, they're so harmonious. You just have to go for a second glass. Wow. Okay, so a lot of people say to me, like, why do you spend money on really good French wine when, you know, you probably get more body and stuff in a cheaper Australian wine? There is an elegance and a finesse to French wine and in French wine blending that I don't believe that anyone else in the world can do. Again, I'd age this for another at least 8 to 10 years. Oh, it's almost, like the tannins are so bitey and so dry, like they're so drying. It makes you, like, you need to go back, like you're thirsty, you know, but there's an elegance to that. There's this, I want to drink it with food. You know, a bit of beef, a bit of like even duck, something like that. This is a beautiful, like well-rounded, like such a great way to understand French wine, if that makes sense. So people will say, like, why would you spend so much money on like a Grand Cru Burgundy? There's this harmony, and I can't even express, or I can't even explain it, but there's a harmony to the wine that comes through. So yeah, Gigondas, if you haven't tried it, as I said, if you love Chateauneuf de Pape, which has more of those green stalky characters, this doesn't have that so much, but it does have this beautiful freshness, balance, this harmony within the tannins. Very easy to drink. Like, it's even easier to drink than the previous wine. So even though you're paying probably double the price for this, I highly recommend trying it in a couple more years though, because yeah, it's a bit too young. But yeah, definitely potential to age it for like a long time.